Hello everyone, this is Sean Farmer, and I am here with a brand new channel, and this is pretty much here to show you the basics and in the future further in depth with Photoshop. So starting out, let me just demonstrate what all Photoshop can do. So if any of y'all are new, y'all can pretty much follow along quite easily. Well, with a file you can open, save, pretty much anything. When saving a file, I tend to go to save for web and device because it gives it that, I don't know, it's just a cleaner look for me. So when you do that, you can choose what file you want depending on if it's a animation or not. It would either be a GIF or a PNG. And now I normally save it either PNG 24 or a JPEG on high or maximum, which gives you very good look. But with JPEG, if you can tell, in the bottom, it's a 2.4 megabytes, but with the PNG, it drops it down, or it brings it up to 2.9 megabytes. So depending on how big you want it to be, or all that stuff, that's how you do it. Now this, I pretty much just made a while ago, and I was quite bored. And if you notice, the main things I'll be working with are going to be either Goku or Ryu, but I might bring in some other stuff like that. But then again, there's still Goku. Now, I do not claim any of the sprites involved with this. This is all stuff that I found on like the internet and all that, but so just getting that out of the way. That's another thing you should look at when making a Photoshop picture, is if you do make it using stuff that's not yours, make sure to claim that it's not in fact 100% yours and all the content involved is someone else's. You can see here in the bottom leg the creators' names right here, I do believe. So yeah, I left all that there. You shouldn't really edit any signatures out if there are any. But let's move on to the edit. Here you can pretty much transform anything. Like if I have a let's go ahead and drag this file over here. If I have, let's say, this Goku, if I wanted to move him, I can go to edit, and then here I can like fill him in with something like a foreign color, which changes all that. And you can pretty much do a lot of stuff. You can change, you can give him like a outline. You can transform him anyways, but there's also keys. Like for transforming, you can do Control T, which brings this up. Photoshop's a little laggy, but there we go. And let's say you mess up, you can either apply or don't apply. I'm gonna hit don't apply. So that's what edit can do. In layers, you can pretty much just duplicate a layer, and all these I use with code, so you pretty much don't need to know a lot of this. Control A is to select all this. This is all the selecting thing, and just about every selection has a combination for it, such as Control A. Filter. This is what you will be using a lot. This is what gives each picture that extra oomph. Like I can sharpen my Goku, I can sketch him, I can make him like chrome looking if I so choose to. And then here to bring you to all this, so gives you like an extra field on what you want, like that and all this other stuff. So actually, let's see, which one I should pick. Anyway, I'm gonna just do that. There you go. Now you can see he has a little like sketchy look. And pretty much this is all your effects and all the stuff that pretty much makes your pictures stand out. You can also blur him a little bit. And all this you really don't use too much. You use window every once and again. Like if you make an animation, you can click the animation section and I'll get into all that in later videos. So now that you have a feel for the very top, you notice this all stuff. You really don't use anything up top too much besides filter. Filter is pretty much the main thing. That and file are the two main things you will always only really use. I have to admit, image adjustments you will use later on in case you want to like boost up the contrast of something or not, make it just look cooler or anything relating like color schemes and stuff. And now looking to the left, you will see this tab bar, and you can also move this by clicking the dots and scrolling over. So if you want it pretty much just anywhere, like right here, I'm going to keep mine at the top for now though. There we go. And now each one has a different thing. The very first one's just to move around. It's your main mouse. The second one I think starts with the elliptical. If you right click that, you can like look at the rectangular and all this, and each one does just different stuff. You can see when I scroll has the highlight. It's kind of like the same concept as a paint highlight and stuff, or with this you can't like drag and move an item. Once you have it, you have to you can move it anywhere and all that. And if you have it up here and you want to delete it, you can either click Control D or just simply click outside of the box. Now right under that you have your marquee or your lasso, and you can change that to like polygon and all that, and that's just to make pretty much the same thing, just your own shapes, which you rarely use, because with that you can also use this pin right here, which has these dots. And if you ever use this, it took me a while to figure out, they don't go away with like anything. You have to like right click using the pin tool, and then click delete path, which deletes those. So let's go down to this magic wand right here. This you will be using a lot. If you notice, my tolerance up here is at 20. You can change that to like 80, and what it does is pretty much just finds the same color objects and highlights them, so that way you can like delete them. Or other stuff. Now let's say that thing that just happened popped up. When you open up a already saved file, it will have this lock next to it. Now if you simply just double click it, this new layer will pop up. Simply click OK, and that will go away. Now with this you can finally start editing. So let's just click that and click delete. See how like all that disappeared? And let's say that was too much, it's not what you wanted, you can lower it down to 10, and there you go, it does smaller portions. Once again, Control D to exit out of all that. And this you really don't use too much, just kinda highlight something. So that's pretty much it. You won't be using that too much. You can also, it's pretty much just to crop stuff, like if you want to zoom in on his face or something. There we go. So by the way, what I just did there was Control Z, which will bring you backwards or forwards. And now if you want to go back twice, you Control Alt Z. But moving on, this is pretty much just a eyedropper. Let's say I really like this like pinkish color. I can click that, and it'll give me that pinkish color. So then I can pretty much use it when I draw. Which right under that now is just kind of a stamp type thing. You really don't use that too much. History you really don't use neither. The eraser you do use, it's pretty self-explanatory. You have to erase this stuff. The gradient, it'll look like the paint bucket. With the paint bucket, same thing, and you rarely use that though. If you right click on it though, and click gradient, that you actually will use a lot. By dragging and just pretty much dragging somewhere, it'll gradient. That might be hard to see, so let's just go with the black and white. So it'll give you that gradient effect. It'll have the black fading into the white, and you can also do any colors. You can even like change that to like, there we go. So Christmassy colors there. Now simply if you end up changing the colors and want to get back to black and white instead of clicking individually, you can simply click this little box right here and it'll revert back to the black and white. Now you can also switch them manually, so you won't have to do the same thing. And this right here is a just a blur. If you right click on it, you can also sharpen and smudge. So if I want to enhance the look of like just random stuff, you can do all that. Whoops. Also smudging it. This gives you some cool effects if you do specific stuff. Once again, Control Alt Z to backspace more than one time. Now this one right here, the dodge, these you actually use a lot. Right clicking on that, you'll see the burn and sponge. Sponge pretty much absorbs the colors and makes them brighter. If you can see by that how he pretty much turns from like pale to tan. You can also enhance it by doing burn, which gives him even more of a tan. If you can tell, it's not too much. I don't know if YouTube can pick that up or not, but like let's say I wanted to give his gold a little more like just gold. See how it gets darker and more gold and stuff. And I can also do that with like his fingers, pretty much everything. Pen tool I already showed you. The text is pretty self-explanatory. That may take a little bit to boot up, I don't know why, but pretty much just highlight and just type. Be like there we go. And I teach you how to install font later on. Now, if you notice in the layer, the font stays there. You're gonna have to go and manually delete that by either clicking backspace or right clicking and clicking delete. So yeah, with right below it is your rectangle. It's not like that. This rectangular tool, this one pretty much you can change your style to like this and make like a rectangular sphere type thing. It's good if you want to make like buttons and stuff, and these you really don't use too much. There's keys to all that. And looking to the right, you will see layers, your channels, your paths, your masks, and all this fun stuff. Now with this, you might use these more so than everything else. You're definitely going to use your layer the most because this shows everything you have. So here I can simply just click on layer 1, move that, click on layer 2, move that, and there we go. Another thing, if you look in the background, it should have these white and gray dots. If not, you should always start out with white and gray. What you do is simply File, New. Once it loads, you'll see the background contents. Simply click on that and click Transparent. Now with this, you also want to change this to from inches to pixels and keep it there because in 99% of videos they will use pixels because it's more accurate. Simply click OK, and there you go. You have this nice clean black and gray dots. Now what this is pretty much transparent. If you notice my Goku over here, he is transparent. I actually made him transparent, and that'll be in a future video. But yep, that pretty much when you save it, this pretty much turns into whatever the background is. So like if you save it to a website such as like loneportal.com, the theme on that is blue, so the background would more than likely be blue because it blends in exactly with it. therefore you don't have to customize it or anything, and pretty much just saves you all the hassle. Now, color and stuff, you can pretty much just change the color of your brush, like right here, without having to do anything and all that fun stuff. Styles is pretty much what you saw in this box over here, and all gets pretty much just the same thing. But this whole section right here you use the most, because with this you can also change like how it looks, like lighten, how he starts to blend in with everything, and again make him like kind of just do all sorts of stuff. You also have your opacity, which you can manually change to make him more so invisible or not. And that's pretty much it, guys. That's the basics to Photoshop. Down here you have your create new layers, and that's pretty much it, guys. Hope to see you in my future videos. Stay tuned for next week because we have a new video every week. Hope you guys enjoyed. Once again, I'm Sean Farmer, and have a nice day.